Alright, so today we will be going over the second arc of the solo leveling series. In this arc, we will see Jinwoo getting to know his true powers a bit deeper, and even though this arc is pretty short, it's a sweet one. If you are a solo leveling fan or just enjoy solo leveling videos, then be sure to subscribe to the channel as I will bring a lot more solo leveling videos. And with that out of the way, please grab your favorite snacks and let's go into the second arc of solo leveling, the reawakening arc. Alright, so we begin with Jinwoo, who's just opened his eyes and is gasping for air as he's holding his heart. Jinwoo is a bit taken back but slowly calms down. As he's calmed down, he starts to wonder if it all just were a dream. However, he looks around only to find himself at a hospital, and just then, two gentlemen in suits come into his room asking if he's finally awake. Jinwoo asks who they are, and they apologize if they scare him as they give Jinwoo their card. Thanks to the card, Jinwoo realizes that they are from the Korean Hunter Guild inspectors and wonders what they want to do with him. They explain that Jinwoo has been asleep for a mind-blowing 3 days, which comes as a surprise to him. After that, he quickly asks what happened to Miss Juhee and Mr. Song. The gentlemen explain that they are safe, but that Hunter Song's missing arm will most likely impede his work from now on, so he may need to retire if he chooses to. He then says that Juhee is still getting treated due to her extreme trauma from the dungeon, and that it's uncertain if they will stay as hunters. He starts telling Jinwoo about the other hunters, like Kim for example, but Jinwoo stops him and says that it's enough already, as he thinks back to when Kim completely betrayed them all. The gentlemen say that the number of people that survived the double lair is 6, and although hunters are in danger every time they hunt, it's rare for a massacre like this one to occur. Telling Jinwoo that when the inspectors and the White Tiger Guild reached the scene, everyone was gone and that it was Jinwoo lying on the altar with no statues or anything the others described to be seen. Jinwoo can't believe what they are saying, and they say that they are as surprised as he is. They explain that if the survivors' testimonies had differed by even a little, or if some of the body parts of the deceased weren't found there, then they would have thought of a different explanation. However, this is just a theory, but they believe that Jinwoo received the double awakening, which comes as a big surprise to him. After that, we get an explanation of what a double awakening really is. They say that a hunter's stats are set when they receive the awakening or power. However, some hunters get awakened again after the first time, and there have been cases of C ranks plowing directly to an A rank or a B rank, shooting straight to S rank. And then they take out a magic power detector and tell Jinwoo that all he has to do is place his hand on the mana crystal. As he is saying that, he's secretly thinking that if there actually were such death-level monsters described by the survivors, normal hunters wouldn't cut it. Only by gathering A ranks and S ranks could the situation have been resolved. However, all of the monsters just mysteriously disappeared, and it's impossible to not suspect the possibility of Hunter Jinwoo receiving a double awakening, seeing that he was the only survivor left inside. The machine starts to count, but surprisingly, it stops at a mere 10, and he thinks that trash is just trash after all, and thinks that even the lowest E rank is at least a 70. Jinwoo, who's curious to see what he got, asks what the result came out to be, but they avoid that and say that it looks like they suspected him for no reason, and just suddenly walk out, leaving Jinwoo surprised, as he wonders if they aren't aware of the giant message box above his head, and he thinks that they might be unable to see it. He looks at his leg and sees that it's still there, even though it got chopped off in the dungeon, and on top of that, his impaled chest is back to normal. He thinks that he can't really tell what was a dream and what was reality. Suddenly, he stands up and wonders if he should have told them about the message screen. He tries to touch it, but realizes quickly that it's not a touch screen, and just then, as he is standing up looking really weird, his sister comes into the room and asks what it is that he is doing and wonders if he has hurt his head. She gets close to him and is a bit angry as she says that she told him to stop getting injured and asks if he knows how worried she is. Jinwoo can't really do anything else but apologize. She says that all of the other hunters returned fine and asks why it's always Jinwoo who comes out injured. As she is shouting at him, he can't believe that he almost left her behind. However, he also says that it seems like he isn't out of his dream yet, as the message box is right in front of his sister's head. Anyway, back to his sister, who asks if he understands, and that if Jinwoo gets hurt one more time, then she is going to throw away studying and work instead, so that Jinwoo can quit being a hunter. Out of nowhere, Jinwoo asks Gina if she can see this, and points to the message box. However, she is confused as to what it is that she is supposed to see. He starts talking about how to read unread mail in games, and she wonders if he really hit his head in the dungeon, but says that you usually have to open the mailbox first, and as she says that, the mailbox opens up and welcomes Jinwoo to his daily quest. After a while, Gina leaves with her friend and leaves Jinwoo alone. As he's alone, he starts getting a lot of different messages to the point where he can't even understand what they are saying. But he thinks back and says that he remembers seeing something similar while he was lying on the altar. After that, he reads his daily quest, which tells Jinwoo to prepare to become strong, and as he opens it, he sees what it is that he has to do. In the quest, it says that Jinwoo has to do 100 push-ups, 200 curl-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run. It also says that failing to complete this daily quest will bring a punishment associated with this quest. However, Jinwoo has an annoyed look on his face as he wonders if this is all a joke. He lies down in his bed and says that someone hospitalized doesn't even have the strength to do this, and comes to the conclusion that it would be better if he just checked what it is after he has slept. He sleeps and sleeps, and the timer starts ticking more and more as his time starts to run out. When his time is fully run out, he gets an alarm which says that Jinwoo did not complete the daily quest, and that he is now heading toward the penalty zone for a certain period of time. And then out of nowhere, he feels like an earthquake is starting to go down. He grabs onto the floor, which quickly starts turning into sand, and he finds himself inside a desert. He thinks that all of this might have been a dream, but then something starts raising itself behind him. He looks behind him and sees a poison-fanged, giant sand centipede. And then a new quest comes up, which says that as his penalty quest, his job is to survive in this desert for a whole 4 hours, which Jinwoo isn't too happy with at all. The centipedes are beginning to catch up to him, however. Just as the centerpiece is about to take a bit out of Jinwoo, the timer gets completed, and he falls out of the sand and onto the hard hospital floor with another message above him stating that he has completed the penalty quest, and it asks Jinwoo if he wants to accept his reward for completing the penalty quest, but before he can accept, he falls to the floor due to exhaustion. After a while, a nurse comes by and sees Jinwoo lying on the floor with sand all around him, which she finds rather strange. After that, we see two nurses talking to each other. They talk about Jinwoo, who's a hunter, and one of them says that he's been running every day, even though it's been a couple of days since he woke up. The other nurse wonders what the doctor said about that, but she explains that the doctor said that hunters heal faster than normal people, and that light exercises should be fine. They look out, and just then, they see Jinwoo running for his life, and wonders how many hours he's been at it. After that, we get to hear what Jinwoo has to say about this, as he says that it's now been 4 days since he woke up, and that there are a few things that he's found out. Firstly, the thing in front of him isn't his eye's illusion, although nobody else can. Jinwoo can see it clearly in front of his eyes. After that, we get to see what he gets after completing a quest. We see that he can choose between either status recover, 3 stats points, and 1 random box. Right now he chooses status recovery, which gets him back on his feet, and he says that the fatigue that nested in his whole body actually disappears, as if it wasn't even there in the first place. Aside from that, there are also stat points and random box items. Jinwoo can increase any one of his stats at will, as long as he has stats points. He gets stronger as he increases his character stats, which is basically the same as leveling up. Jinwoo's got everything from status, skills, items, inventory, and item storage, and says that it's like a real game. After that, he goes to the front desk of the hospital and asks if he can take a leave for the day. She says that it's fine, but asks where it is that he is going, and he says that he has to take care of some business outside. He leaves the hospital and goes to a station. He takes out a key and says that it's time to figure out what it does. He talks about the random box that comes out every time he clears the daily quest. Although sometimes useless items like bandages and pens come out, this key seems different, however. A key that can open instant dungeons. He thinks that all of the quests and status could be because of the double awakening, or perhaps a procedure towards the double awakening, and if that's the case, then it's worth trying out. He says that the world's weakest receive a double awakening, and that other people would laugh if they heard that. Jinwoo says that he's confident in his ability to run, and that if it becomes too dangerous like last time, he will run away no matter what. And just like that, he puts in the key, and then some strange energy field emerges which Jinwoo goes into. But as he goes in, the energy field hardens and blocks the entrance. But it's only for him, as another person goes through like nothing at all, and he thinks that he might be in a different dimension, saying that it's different from normal dungeons and that he's never seen anything like this before. He scratches his head and wonders what he's supposed to do now, as he can't run away if it gets dangerous. But then the message box pops up which says that Jinwoo can't leave unless he kills the boss or uses the return crystal. Jinwoo looks worried and says that it was only a few days since he struggled with E-rank monsters and now he's supposed to clear this dungeon all by himself, which is absurd to him. He starts feeling a creepy feeling behind him and wonders if he's supposed to clear all of this without a party, and looks into the dark tunnel that he has to go through. And that, my friends, has been the solo leveling reawakening arc explained. I hope you enjoyed this arc as much as I did, as even though it was short, it was really interesting to learn a bit more about Jinwoo's powers, and I can't wait to cover the next arc already. And if you are interested in that as well, then be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss it. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, or maybe the video where I go over the first arc of the series, then please watch the videos which will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, have a great day, and bye.